go check out the podcast. If you have not checked out our new podcast, we just dropped the first episode with Trevor Evans. It's on the channel. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, all the major podcast platforms in audio version. And like I said, video version right here on the channel. So go check that out. These are sort of longer form conversations that we're having with awesome classic truck guys and gals who love these trucks as much as we do. So we sit down right here in this setting, highly produced, awesome audio, great conversation. Come back and check it out. It's called UBT's Action Line Podcast, and it's powered by Sweet Patina, fueled by Auto Metal Direct. Welcome to United by Trucks. We're in a different place, as you can tell. We're at Hooks Detailing's personal shop. So he's got the detailing shop down the road. We're actually in his personal shop where he's got a lift, because we're going to be doing some heavy lifting, doing some transforming on Teddy. Hold up real quick and I'll tell you all about it. In case y'all didn't know, he's been cleaning on this place, doing some awesome stuff. I don't know if you've seen inside here before when we were messing around last time, but we got Teddy in here, and the reason we got Teddy in here is, if you haven't seen, I have been picking up some 503 light green parts. Most of you guys who watch the channel know that this bed is actually not 503 light green. It is 518 medium green, I believe. And you can really tell it. You can't tell on the driver's side as much, but you can really tell the color difference here on this side. But we're going to be taking this bed off, and we're going to be running this 503 light green STEPSIDE bed. Yes, I know some of you are going to hate that, but I don't really care. I like it. I think it's going to be cool. It's even got the cutout for the spare tire, so Noah got us mounted up with a new tire and wheel here that we're going to put in that spot. And I got this bed from Tony Hartman up in Indiana, who had bought the truck from West Conan. So this was a bit of a race truck. It was competed in PTTS. It had, or the truck that this came off of was a race truck. So it's got some widened tubs on the inside. It's even got some little exhaust cutouts that I think are really cool for this truck, for this bed. Even though it may not fit the quite the farm truck thing I'm going for that Teddy has, I still think it's going to be pretty cool, and I'm not passing up 503 light green stuff. Chevy tailgate, so we're going to be Chevy in the back, GMC in the front for now until I find a GMC gate. But this is a really good bed, really good 503 bed, and I'm super pumped to get this thing on Teddy. So we're gonna at least start there. There's a couple other things that we're gonna try to get done too, either tonight or later tomorrow before I drive this thing to LST. But a couple things that broke on the Dino's trip: radiator, trans line, which I'm not even sure I mentioned in that video, but trans line and a couple little odds and ends. We're gonna replace the shock brackets in the rear. But first things first, we're gonna get the bed off and go from there. Finishing taking this bed off, I want to flash back to me picking up these parts from Tony up in Indiana. He has a really cool thing going at the local high school up there where he is, so he's going to tell you all about what they've got going in their automotive shop and how they're working on mostly classics in there. So we're going to flash back real quick, check that out, and then we'll meet you back here at Zack's shop in a minute. I'm on the road. I'm actually in Kentucky, headed to Indiana to pick up some parts, and I think you're going to really enjoy these parts that I'm picking up for a truck. And we're going to be making some pretty big changes to this truck. Picking it up from a guy named Tony Hartman, who's an educator over at one of the local schools in Elwood, Indiana, and might even get to see some students, maybe talk to some students at least, show you kind of what they got going on there at their school. I'm looking for a square body, half-ton, four-wheel drive Suburban on the cheap, but OG paint, or as much OG paint as I can get, and as much together as I can get. And I've got a stupid low budget, like I always do, but I've noticed that as I've gone, well, me and Rocky went to Alabama the other day, a couple hours away. On the way up here yesterday, I stopped off in Tennessee to look at one, and man, the varying conditions of vehicles these days, especially, I'm looking for that 87 to 91 burb, and it's amazing how some are in great condition, some are just roached. And I guess probably the farther north you get, like I'm driving on some salt right now, I guess probably the farther north you get, that becomes more of a thing. But I've just been kind of blown away at the range of prices that people are asking for trucks or for these Suburbans, and the level of condition that these things are in. So anyway, I'm not looking for you guys to send me a bunch of, you know, Facebook Marketplace ads. I'm all over Marketplace. I've got feelers out. I don't have a huge budget, like I said. I don't have a lot to work with, but I'm really trying to get in something that I can road trip and help me kind of start this new brand that I'm just now teasing out to you guys, that is going to be a part of sort of the UBT Media network. So anyway, today I'm headed to get some really cool parts that I actually bought probably 4 months ago, thanks to my buddy Jeff Cooper over at Cooper Restorations. He put me onto these parts, and as you know, I love OG Paint C772 parts, so we're going to show you what we're working with as soon as we get here. But right now, we're going to blow through what looks like Louisville on our way to Elwood, Indiana. And I have just recently, even though it's been out for a while, stumbled on the Dale Jr. podcast, and I can't get enough of this. I mean, it's like making me want to go watch these old races and really kind of get back into what's happening, you know, in the modern world of NASCAR racing. I know it's not the same, but you know, I've watched some documentaries recently. There's one with Denny Hamlin, there's one with Bubba Wallace, the 2311 stuff. It's all pretty interesting. But anyway, never been huge into racing, as you guys know. I'm more of just a cruiser, but with my interest in, you know, autocross and road racing, it just kind of has piqued my interest, and then all the nostalgia tied up in this Dale Jr. and Dale Earnhardt stuff, which is really, really cool. And he does such a killer job on this podcast. So if you're not listening to the Dale Jr. download, you definitely should go check that out. Free plug. And yeah, so I'm gonna keep moving here. Right here on the trailer. There's your sneak peek. We'll talk about it in a minute. So it looks like Tony is coming out. He is a teacher at this John Hines Career Center in Elwood, automotive teacher. Looks like he's got a gaggle of folks coming out. So let's check this out real quick.
I didn't even have to call them.
They're already on the way. Well, I'm a little later than I thought I'd be.
Yeah, I'm Tony's father-in-law.
Okay, I'm Robbie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How's your trip?
It's been pretty good.
Been pretty good?
It's kind of hard to navigate once I got off the interstate to get over this way.
Oh, yeah?
I got some detours, roads closed, and I kept missing turns and all sorts of stuff.
Can you grab that, Bryce, please? And set it right in front of that.
Well.
Oh, yeah. So got
Oh, yeah, the inner tub's gonna. All right, real quick. Thanks to these guys and the others who helped. This is Tony Hartman, if you guys don't know.
Hello.
He's the guy I bought all the sheet metal from. It's my friend Jeff Cooper. I mentioned him earlier in the video. He's the one that helped us out with the vent windows and put us onto all this sheet metal. This is all 503 light green stuff. I'll tell you more about it when we get on down the road. Big thanks to you, Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you for being patient with me.
Thank you.
Like I said, this has been months in the work in work, so glad to finally be up here and pick this stuff up. If only one fits there, I can throw the other one in the bed.
Can you get it in there between the...
Oh, be tight.
Yeah. Yeah, you still got an inch or two. Yeah. There you go. Now slide it on back. Yeah, that's a good idea.
He actually got his right. We're in Elwood, Indiana, Elwood High School, but it's Heinz Career Center, to where we have students that come from like 6 or 7 different towns nearby, and we have multiple classes they can, join, like welding, and this is auto collision, obviously, but they have auto repair shop next door, and machine trades and welding and different classes like that. So,
Okay, awesome.
So when you come in here, this is our classroom. These are a couple students staying over to prime his truck, but this is our classroom where we come. Most of the time we work in the shop. So this is what we have out here in the shop at this point.
Oh yeah.
This is my buddy's 71 C10. This is a student's truck that he brought in to do some repairs on. It had some dents in it. The other side had some rust repair. So the students are staying after class today to get that truck to primer so we could get the paint maybe Monday or something like that.
Very cool.
So what we have going on here is we have a frame rack, but at this point right now, the frame rack is just full of parts from trucks that we're building here in the shop. We have a lift. We have a square body up on top of the lift right now. We have the cab off of it over here. And this truck here, we've ordered a lot of parts through Cooper Restorations in Marion, Indiana.
Shout out Jeff over there in the corner.
But a lot of these parts, the grill, the hook, the fenders, and we're waiting on a door, should be here in the next day or two. That we have a new bed behind Robbie right here now that's all assembled and primered and ready for paint. This truck here is my personal truck.
This is the one.
This is the one that all the parts came from, and it had a little bit of rust in the rocker, and we went to Jeff and got a rocker and a cap corner for it, and then we're going to put all new sheet metal on that truck and then repaint it back to the factory 503 paint.
The only color. I'm just kidding. The best color, at least.
Yes. So over here we have a truck that's, the cab is off of it. That's a square body truck, and we're just doing some of the repair on the firewall. Then we'll get that to primer. These are square body parts we're working on. That's the door, obviously, and behind Robbie is the bed of both trucks and the chassis of the truck. That's a square body truck we're working on.
Now, is this a customer's truck? I mean, not a customer. Is this a student's truck, or is this?
This is actually an Elwood student, but it's my administrator, Laura Groover here. It's her husband is redoing the truck, but my students are doing a lot of the work. He comes in the evening and works on it and sees where we're at.
Very cool.
And then they have a boy that's 16 years old that's going to be his truck.
Ah,
so it's going to be
cool.
his first truck, and it's a square body truck. But Laura Groover here, she's our administrator, and it's her son's truck. And
I love it.
He come in and blew it all apart. We're working on this truck, that truck, and then obviously that's a student truck over there that we're needing to get done. So
I like it. It's GM heavy.
Everything's GM. We love it. Yeah.
I love it. Well, real quick before I have to head back to Tennessee, tell me a little bit about your truck. Why did you want this truck? Tell me a little bit about what's going on with suspension and wheels and tires, and what your plans for it are.
So what we have here is my 1969 C10 that I purchased from Wes over in Ohio. This is the second truck I bought from Wes in Ohio, and the other truck was a 67, and it was all patina. The whole truck was patina, and I gently took the whole body off the truck down to the frame, and we had it sandblasted, and we painted the frame and built the whole truck back and put a LS engine in it. Well, then I moved on to a 70 C10 that I had, and it just wasn't me. I didn't have a lot into it. So I talked to Wes a couple times, and I went back and purchased this truck from Wes. It's a 1969 C10.
Last year, a 503.
Last year, a 503.
I switched to 518 and 70.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this truck was autocrossed a lot by him. It's been in a few magazines, obviously, but it had that bed and doors and everything on it, and I decided I wanted a shiny, pretty truck. So I went to Jeff Cooper at Cooper Restorations and bought all the brand new sheet metal for it, and then I'm going to assemble a new bed and put it on and new doors. It had a little bit of rust in it, but it was a super nice, clean truck. And I just like the truck because it has an LS motor in it. It's
Yes.
aluminum 6.2, and it has a Moser rear end in it, an M9 rear end with all the racing suspension. And
Very cool.
it's just a really cool truck that I'm going to turn into a shiny truck that I want to do.
You're starting with an unbelievable foundation.
Yes, yes.
And just making the skin look how you want it.
Yes,
I love
exactly.
it. Are you staying STEPSIDE or are you going fleetside?
We're putting a fleetside bed on it. It'll look a lot like this one.
okay. Yeah.
That is not my bed. That goes to the truck that's behind me. But the new bed is over in boxes and ready to go. And we'll assemble that bed, put it on here, and then I'll have new doors, new fender, new hood. And I have the grill sent out because it was decent shape. And they're just going to metal shape different areas of it and polish it, and I'll get it back. It'll be the factory grill left back on
And the
truck.
students are going to help you get this truck back together?
100%. They're going to assemble the bed. So I have 22 students here at Heinz Career Center, and they all work on all these trucks all day long. So when I'll come in, I say, well, the next step, we need to be doing this or this, and they jump right in and they do all that work.
Wow.
They do the priming, they can do the paint work. I'll probably choose to paint this truck myself.
Yeah, these kids are getting an invaluable lesson. I mean,
Yes, they are.
I wish I had this kind of thing coming up. I had automotive shop in high school, but I ended up taking construction for some reason. I don't know why I did that.
Yes.
But if I'd have had, especially an automotive teacher like you who's working on classic stuff, that would have definitely made a difference, I'm sure.
Yes.
This is a great attractant for folks.
And what's really good to sit here and know that if you look at the clock, it's 4:45, and I have 2 students still here.
That's right.
They're ready to prime their truck. And they're working together to try and get this truck done. So it's incredible that they take the time to do so. So in here, they do a lot of electrical training. This is different things that go on in auto mechanics side. Is they do a lot of trainers in here on starters and alternators and lighting and such. So when you walk out in the shop, this is a 66 truck that they're working on. It was a truck that we did in our auto collision. We did the paint work and things on it. And now he's bringing it over to his side, and he's going to put an LS engine in it. He has it sitting in there. So he's going to LS swap this. And then obviously this is the bed of the truck. They just took it off because they had to put the fuel tank in the back instead of behind the seat, obviously. That's the bumper and the bed of that truck.
And so y'all did the body work and painted this in your shop?
In our shop,
Awesome.
yes.
That is so cool.
And then this is his personal truck. And the students are mounting the fuel tank in it, running all the brake lines. They got all the brake lines, and the brakes ran for this.
Yeah, rear disc brakes and all. Yeah, that's awesome. You said this is 66?
This is 66. And then the seat that he chose to do, he's trying to match the blue, and he sent the seat to Arch Trim Shop in Anderson, Indiana. They did that seat for him.
Very cool. I like the white. You don't see a lot of white classics these days.
I like the white.
Me too.
We have cool things going on here with the vintage trucks and things. It's just kind of cool to be able to do this type of thing with the students, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're creating...
And get them involved, you know. Ken Austin behind you and David Bechtel. He's just like myself. Every once in a while you have 3 or 4 students staying over working with you, or on a Saturday they'll come in and work with him on this truck.
That is just unbelievable. Well, you guys are creating future hot rodders, future classic truck. Well, not even future classic truck folks. I mean, these kids are loving this stuff, it seems.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be able to do this type of stuff in here.
Well, Thank you for showing me all this.
Thank you so
This is
much.
very
Thank you,
cool.
Rob. Thank you
Tony,
so
I
much.
appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I really
Thank
do. Thanks for letting me come impromptu into your shop. Appreciate your help, man. All right, folks, we got it all on the trailer. Super duper happy to have all these 503 light green parts. Check out these windmills though, off in the distance. I didn't know Indiana had windmills, or whatever you call those, turbines. But it's starting to rain and I got all this stuff on the trailer, so I want to be super duper careful. And yeah, so I'm gonna head to Tennessee and I will give you a walk around of these parts soon. Here we go. Look who showed up. What's up, man?
How are you? What's going on? How are you?
We're messing around with Teddy. I knew y'all would.
You know we're gonna be here.
Yeah.
You know we're gonna be here.
We've been working on the air system and getting it all like disassembled in the rear. Wait till you see what we've done to get this thing to roll out of here. So yeah, there's the blocks. That's what we're doing for just holding the front end up. I mean, all we gotta do is just drive it straight down there, you know. So we just drained the whole tank. So we've about got all this undone. All Mike's beautiful work. All right, so here's Teddy naked. I saw this probably 25,000 miles ago on the channel.
Naked and not afraid.
Naked and not afraid.
Yeah.
I like it. So, Borla Pro XS for anybody who's going to ask. Boyd tank. It's a React shot cross member. React tubular trailing arms. Their cross members all the way back around the tank. So, I think for the bed, we're going to look at what we might need to do for the exhaust. And we're going to consider trying to figure out maybe that ain't going to happen there, that's for sure.
It's going back in the bed.
Yeah. We were trying to figure out if we were going to be able to put the tank somewhere under the bed, but that is not going to happen with no real estate. So we'll bust the bumper off because we have a dealer bumper that'll go there. But Vire compressors on both sides. This has like been the most tried and true setup, the Boyd tank with the braided lines. Have had zero issues with that for a long time. So anyway, we're gonna get this thing back in the shop, get the STEPSIDE bed on it, and figure out what's next. What you got going there, bud?
Oh, just taking off what I guess were heat shields above mufflers. I don't know, but they were
Race truck, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess they didn't want to burn up their boards or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. So we're working on getting templates made so we can mount the tank in the bed. We definitely did not have any room under the bed like we thought. So we're working on making templates right here. So to get the air tank mounted, we're gonna have to relief a little bit of this. Zach's gonna make us a little cut here. Just cut this top little piece out so everything fits down through the bed like we wanted. But look how cool this bed looks from the underside. So awesome. You can really see the addition of the widened inner fender there. What I was going to do? I thought about that too. I was like, dang.
I need to be on the front.
About to see how good these weapons stay when we go all the way down with these tire boxes.
We're good now on our side.
We're not on ours. Dang. We attempted to set the bed on there, and I'm sure a lot of you at home may have thought, or maybe thinking, wait, he's got 275/60s with 15 by 8s on the rear. He's gonna have a problem on that STEPSIDE bed. And if you did think that, you're right. The bed is not fitting because of that. This is a 71/72 rear end. If it had the original 67-69 rear end or 67 to early 70 rear end, it probably would fit. And that will probably be what I do to fix it, so I can just get these 275/60s back on it. But we don't have time for that now, and I don't have a rear end. So I'm probably gonna have to drop down to a 255 something, so I gotta go figure out what that is. But just for you guys who care about wheel and tire fitment, that is an answer. Man, I'm digging how it looks though. I think it's gonna be rad. Yeah. Especially with the spare.
I think the kids call it hella flush, don't
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Oh. Say it again?
they? Hella flush.
Hella
Kids,
flush.
what the kids call it.
All right. Hella flush. Is that what the kids call it?
No.
Not that kid? His daddy's standing here. He's like, you better not be saying that. But we got to figure that out. There's some other things we're gonna figure out. But yeah, that's where we are for the night. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Tell them what it is, Blake.
The kids would say that's Sigma.
Sigma.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like, I mean, you think that's Sigma? Like it's gonna be, it's probably not Sigma now. It's probably like Sigma Light. You know. But I bet we'll get to Sigma.
It's like Sig. We ain't to the mall yet.
We're not there yet. Just Sig. Back at Zack's, we're about to mess with the radiator and install this new Holley FB311. It's their frostbite radiator that is built for an LS, made for an LS, so it's got all the ports in the right places, steam vent and all that. So we're gonna get that swapped out from the road trip where the fan shroud bolts had rubbed a hole in the old radiator we had, and this frostbite is just miles ahead of the other. So we're gonna get it installed, and then we're gonna jump back to the back and get the bed on this thing. I'm gonna end up doing different tire size on the rear for now, just to get me to Texas. We leave to go to Texas in like 4 days. So I'm gonna end up doing a different rear tire size that is not ideal, but I think it's gonna be what we need to do to run the STEPSIDE bed, get us to Texas safely. And when I get back, I'm gonna focus on trying to figure out maybe shortening the rear end or finding a 67 to early 70 rear end that's a lot narrower that we can bolt under this truck. So figure that out whenever I get back from Texas. But right now, today's objectives are radiator, gotta fix the transcooler line, and get the bed back on, get the air management working. And then I'm gonna come back out here in another day or two with the new wheels and tires for the rear. And then I think we should be good to go. So let's go jump in on this radiator. So this is the frostbite radiator. It's just a nice 3-row aluminum radiator. It's got the provisions on the driver's side for the radiator hoses, steam vent deal there. Looks like nice little quality. They even got this little cap to go with it. So we should be good there. We're using these fittings that screw in there that the hoses can attach to. So those are also from Frostbite. I was actually using them in this cheapo aluminum radiator, but we're gonna just use them in the radiator they're supposed to be in. So sweet, fan shroud off. What we did this time on the road, we ended up, me and Zach were just talking about this, but on the road, the way the fans are run, we had to cut the wiring to the electric fans and then re-butt connect them. But this time we decided to just try to pull the top off, which Zach just did, pull the top of the fan shroud off, and that way we can just slide the radiator out the top. So that's what we're gonna do this time. And this is just that fan shroud setup that we got from Vintage Motors a couple years back. Still going strong. Right here is the main repair that we did on the road trip. That's that flex steel, or quick steel repair that actually worked out pretty good. It did start leaking from somewhere when I let it get real warm after sitting for a minute, but yeah, I think it's toast. We're gonna call this one done. And oh, and I forgot there was fluid in it. Well, we're gonna call this one done and put this new one in. Here's the Frostbite radiator. Looks very similar to the other one, but it's supposed to be really quality, nicely TIG welded, it looks like, and has everything we need. So while we're finishing up under the engine bay, Zach's got some goodies going on the dually.
Yeah, man.
Little tin works action.
Got some nice stuff from our buddies at Tin Works, man. So I've got a rear end I'm going to be putting under the truck, trying to get my wheels back out where they're supposed to be, and also gain disc brakes. So the guys at Tin Works sent us a really nice flip kit. It's got new U-bolts, new U-bolt plates. This is nice stuff, man.
Yeah, man.
It's very nice stuff. Everything's well made. All the whole, there's no slag anywhere.
Yeah.
It's really nice stuff. I was very impressed, and it's really heavy duty axle saddles here, which help with the 1 ton that's making 500 plus horsepower, and the axle doesn't want to stay where it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So I was really impressed to see how beefy these are. I think they're going to work well under this thing.
Well, I thought it was cool that he went the extra mile to make sure that, he didn't just give us what we wanted to order. He double checked us.
Yeah,
you know?
made sure we measured the axle tubes and made sure what he had and sent us was going to be the right thing.
Yeah, man, this stuff does look awesome.
Yeah, it's nice. There's also some little round ones with the other decal.
Oh yeah. God, see,
American made.
Yeah, they're rolling out a whole new graphics package. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's so good.
It is.
So good.
Saving blue and
For the truck, for sure. Speaking of the truck. Zach, what you got here, man?
Small pile of rust. Literally a bone stock 5.3 out of a 03 Tahoe. It's got a Brian Tooley truck Norris cam and a dirt cheap eBay turbo kit on it.
I love it. What kind of power, when it's all said and done, you think it's gonna be putting down?
It's not been on a dyno by any means. I don't have sheets.
No. we just talking.
This is the Sloppy Mechanics Don't BS Me build.
Yeah.
90% of the people with this exact build make between 550 and 6. It's tired.
Very cool. Very cool. Big old truck like this, it ought to pull it around pretty nicely.
It should.
Well, speaking of the rear end, let's talk about what you got going back here and why you want to upgrade the rear end. We're gonna do a full profile on this truck in the driveway, so
Let me put these
we're not doing the whole deal. But
so I don't forget.
since we're talking about a couple different things, I think it's cool because I didn't realize this about the rear end setups on these trucks.
I couldn't afford to buy the fancy tuck wheels.
Yep.
I bought wheels off of Marketplace that had already had the machine work done. To get them under the truck, I was in a hurry trying to make it to C10s in the city last year.
Yep.
A buddy of mine, Nigel, had a cab and chassis rear end, so I went and grabbed it, stuck it under the truck. It's not just a bolt and go swap at all.
Yeah.
I ended up having to widen the wheel tubs, had to move some stuff under the truck, had to shorten the drive shaft. The factory Dana 70 has a shorter snout than the 14-bolt cab and chassis does. Don't go this route, people. Don't. This is not the ticket.
Yeah.
It tucks the wheels too far.
Yeah.
Really, they're 4 inches inside the fender. I don't like the way it looks.
Yeah.
Josh Parker, I know you're laughing. I do, however, have a rear end I just picked up. It's out of a 04 Cat Eye truck. It's a single rear wheel 2500 rear end. It's 373s, G80 limited slip. Also gains disc brakes.
Yeah.
And it'll bring my wheels back out to where they're just inside the fender lip, so the truck doesn't look like it's bow-legged anymore.
Yeah, to show you just from the kind of the front angle here, while it looks killer, there is definitely a little bit more tuck than one would probably want. And so if you're running, like you said, these are cut down Alcoas, right?
Yeah, they start life as a 22.5 and they're milled down to a 22, so you can run a low profile street tire.
So if you're going to go that route, stay away from the cab and chassis rear end.
Don't do a cab and chassis rear end.
Yeah.
Either buy the tuck wheels from like
Michael's,
Heath Edison,
yeah.
Michael's.
Yeah.
There's several places that make tuck wheels for these trucks that allow you to run the factory rear end, the factory fenders, no cutting anything. I should have saved money and went that way. I like to do things the hard way. So here we are.
Well, now
this will be the third different rear end under the truck. This rear end also has 456 gears, which this LS is not very happy with.
Yeah.
It's 70 miles an hour. It's turning about $3 grand. So it's netting me a little less than 8 miles a gallon right now.
Yeah.
So that's another reason for the rear end swap. But
Well, and real quick,
looking forward to that.
we're not knocking anybody in this next little piece here, but we're standing next to a truck you're going to be driving for a little bit. But the reason
Yes.
why you're going to be driving this is because you got to pull the trans out of this. So
I do.
real quick, why are you doing that?
4L80 I had in the truck initially, ate the converter, which in turn took the trans with it. I had to buy another 4L80, and I scraped pennies together and bought a Circle D billet triple disc 3000 stall to go in it. Ever since I've put it together, everybody said it'll be a whole different truck. It has not felt any different than it did before. I got to talking to some buddies, ended up calling Circle D this week, and they said that sounds like we got my converter a little too tight for my setup and the weight of the truck. So I've got to pull the trans this week. Gonna send the converter back. They're covering shipping. Doesn't cost me anything. They sent me a label. I sent it to them.
Yeah.
They'll loosen it up, get it set up right this time. Send it back to me. We'll put it back together.
Trans is out. Converter's out. Going back to Circle D.
And my buddy Shane's nice enough to let me borrow his killer red crew cab, so I'm not walking.
Which is really cool. And I think the cool part about this is, yeah, that's Zach's daily driver. Like, he's built this to be something that he can drive and do a lot with. But he's got a good buddy Shane who's going to let him drive this 4-speed fuel injected 454 of a truck, and it is a beast, and it is so cool. But I'm excited to see you get the converter back in this thing.
Me too.
And
I'm
it really
ready to fry tires.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Do it right this time.
Yeah.
I love it. And big props to Circle D for honoring what they said they would do. I mean,
warranty's great.
yeah, and you kind of went back to them with
They asked no questions.
with a on the scale weight, and
Yes.
that's what it's going to be built to.
When I ordered the converter, I told them I thought the truck was around 7,000. When I hauled scrap last weekend and weighed out of the scrap yard with me in the truck and a full tank of gas, it was 6106.
Yeah, and
So I
now
overshot the weight by 1,000 pounds when
Yep.
I told them what the truck weighed. So I mean, it's my fault as much as anybody's.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
I told them it was 1,000 pounds heavier than it actually is.
and that does mean a lot when you get into converters and stalls
For
and all
sure.
that stuff.
Every
so,
100 pounds matters.
Yeah. Okay, so we got it all back together here. Got the frostbite in there. Even have this cool cap, which you can see it a little bit right there. We're gonna fill through the upper radiator hose, or I think it's something we want to point out here, just to make sure we don't have any air pockets in the engine to make it run hot. I know a lot of guys do that. I've fallen victim to it before. This is just the way to do it. Upper radiator hose, and then fill your radiator. So that's what we're gonna do. First things first, in the rear, we're gonna throw the lower shock mount bracket on. We're actually gonna orient it so it's in the lower hole, so we've got the most travel out of it, and attach it back to the React cross member, shock cross member up here. Time to put the bed on. So we're gonna put the bed on.
Gently just pick the front up and let the dolly roll it with us.
Ready? You okay? Right. Okay, now. Zach, tell them what's up.
Hey guys.
Just down there laying on your back.
I'm just laying around, man.
Just laying around. So we've been buttoning up all sorts of stuff in here, and we got the bed on. Zach's working on just running the fuel tank vent up in the fender. We got the air management done inside the bed. We had a little leak there we had to work with and got that all taken care of. And then we got the spare tire on. So one thing I didn't think about with the spare tires, that's meant for a 6-lug wheel. This is a 5-lug wheel, so we ended up zipping off one of the lug studs, and it's held on with 2 lug studs or 2 lug nuts, and it's gonna work just fine, solid as a rock. But I love how it's just looking like a killer farm truck. So I'll bring new tires, wheels back for the rear the next day or two, and then we'll wrap this thing up and get to rolling on it. So just wanted to give you guys an update as to where we are. Catch you in the next day or so right here in this video. Real quick though, Zach, how you feeling?
Dirty.
Dirty. You are looking a little dirty. You've been rolling around on the ground like quite a bit.
Grimy.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna get the tail lights wired up, get the bumper on. I've got wheels and tires coming tomorrow for the rear, but today we're gonna jump on these tail lights and get the bumper on. We'll show you what that looks like in a minute. All right, so we're gonna try to tuck this bumper up a little bit. So we're gonna cut off a couple of inches of this and see how that works. All right, so we got the bumper on and it's tucked about as much as we can get it to keep it all straight, especially in the tag area here. But it looks nice. This side is bent a little bit, so it kicks out. But if you look at this side, it looks a heck of a lot better like this. All right, so it's wheels and tires tomorrow. Zach and I are gonna do a little polishing on the cabin clip to make it match the bed. And that's gonna be about it before we go to Texas. So
Get you down to the shop and run the bumper across the.
the 275/60s just would not work on the rear with the step-side bed and this wide 71/72 axle. I feel like they fit really nicely with the 67/68 or 67 to early 70 rear end because they're a lot narrower. So I'm either going to throw one of those under here to get the 275/60s back on it eventually, or just narrow this one. But I ended up having to go with like a 235/70/15 to work under here. I've still got the 8-inch wide wheels. Excuse me, wheels a little wide for the tire, but I leave in 2 days. This was the option, and so that's what we went with. And it's gonna be 27 degrees in Texas.
He said it's supposed to be that cold.
So we're gonna throw the other side on. I'll show you what it looks like when we get it down on the ground. And then we're going to Zach's detail shop because this bed has been polished before. So we're gonna polish the front clip and the cab with some sweet patina century polish and just try to get the sheen right real quick. And then this thing goes back to Marietta with me. Well, Jack will make you work for it. Dude, holy crap.
Yeah, plenty of room to get the jack out.
This thing gonna look good going down the road, man. Look at that. The hips are just so good on a step side, on an old truck with a step side. Heck yeah, dude. We freaking did it.
Dig it.
We freaking did it.
You can see I just kind of went over So the hood, where this is just like undercoat, went over that, and I also just lightly skimmed over the rust and stuff. You can see it darkens the color up a little bit, but it's not, doesn't take it off if you don't want it to.
Yeah, man, that's what we're looking for.
You can go easy with it and not go for top shelf shine like this. We're just trying to make the sheen match the bed. So.
You can see though, like he's done to right there with the polisher. And look how nice and smooth and dark that is. Dude, this is gonna look killer.
Color change. Yep.
Okay, polish is complete on Teddy. Zach just did one pass with a Century polish using his Flex polisher. Now it matches the bed perfectly. I am super duper pumped about this thing. Zach, what do you think, man?
I think it's terrible. You should have left it. No, I'm just kidding. I like it a lot, man. The STEPSIDE bed looks great. I'm really tickled with how the cabin front clip shined up just enough to match the sheen that was already on the bed when we got it. So
yeah, man.
It looks great.
Dude, thank you so much for all your help over the last few days.
Absolutely.
I mean, we have thrashed on this thing, but I don't think we've run ourselves into the ground on it, but we had to troubleshoot a couple of things. And
it's part of it.
It is part of it. It's part of building a truck and making these kind of improvements.
Like, I hope that you don't have to run in rain any.
I know I will.
Because, you know,
it's just a pain.
No wipers, no heat, windshield fogging up, all that crap. But if you do, you've got to let me know what you think about it.
I will for sure, man.
Because you're going to be like,
what?
What's happening right now?
Rain X what?
Yeah, for sure. This is a different level, yeah. After our adventure, coming back home from Dino's, where I spent more time sitting in the middle of the truck, like wiping inside of the windshield, and we Rain X'd at every gas stop. Somebody refuses to let me help him put some wipers on this thing. I'm gonna do it the right way this time before he leaves for Texas. Got some IGL window ceramic coating. We didn't film it, but we've already cleaned. I've buffed the glass with a compound. We've prepped it with our prep, just like you would if you were going to paint a vehicle. Got to make sure it's 100% clean. Now we're going to fix him up with some ceramic coating on his glass. So that way if he gets in the rain this time, it won't be a big deal.
Okay guys, so we got it out here real quick. Like I said, not a lot of time, so I'm gonna make this quick. Here's a little walk around of it. Sweet Patina Century polish by Hooks Detailing. Zach can do this to your truck in this stage, or he can take it all the way to gloss. If you're willing to come to Cedartown, Georgia, he's your man. Also, we got the UVT 6 Performance Stage 2 cam and the 5.3 LS. Counting them off there. Man, I am pumped. All right, now it's time to head back to Marietta. I'm gonna fix the transcooler line tomorrow. I'm gonna have the exhaust routed out the bedside right there, and then we're headed to Texas. Man, that looks awesome, Brian. So the cool thing is, guys, is if you saw on the way you had it run before, well, it looks like you've run a whole new pipe right there. So we had it coming out about this way, and then it just went straight back on the axle there. And now, obviously, it comes out of the muffler, makes a 90, and runs right out that. Brian, it looks awesome, man. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Tailpipes that came off of it.
Yeah, that's how it was. That's a good template for these trucks, though, that are low, that you run, around the outside the frame rail and over the axle.
Right.
I mean, it's perfect. I love it. Well, Brian hadn't heard it either, so I think we ought to get this thing down and check it out. There's another view of how it comes out. There we go. God, Brian, that looks awesome. Sounds good too. Sounds awesome. Just full farm truck status for sure. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of United by Trucks. Hope you guys love Teddy as much as I do. In the next video, we're going to be hitting the road in the truck, so be sure to come back and check that one out. But if you want to see videos like this one even earlier, you can join our UBT Patreon community. There's a link down in the description. These are our biggest supporters of the channel, and so pumped to have them a part of our team. Go check out the podcast. If you have not checked out our new podcast, we just dropped the first episode with Trevor Evans. It's on the channel. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, all the major podcast platforms in audio version. And like I said, video version right here on the channel. So go check that out. These are sort of longer form conversations that we're having with awesome classic truck guys and gals who love these trucks as much as we do. So we sit down right here in this setting, highly produced, awesome audio, great conversation. Come back and check it out. It's called UBT's Action Line Podcast, and it's powered by Sweet Patina, fueled by Auto Metal Direct. If you like what you've seen in this video, be sure to smash that thumbs up, leave a comment, let us know what you think about Teddy's new look. Obviously, he's been having an identity crisis, but I think we've got him even more dialed in to my vision, and I'm super stoked about that. Smash that subscribe button if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, and head over to UnitedByTrucks.com if you like some new merch, some classic truck gear merch. Head over to United by Trucks to check that out. As always, thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time right here on United by Trucks.